tuning in to the Branches HB Kids live stream. We are so happy that you're watching this video right now.
Whether it's Sunday morning or during any other day during the week, we believe that learning about God's love for us is something we can hear about all the time.
Our desire as Branches HB Kids Ministry is to continue to have a resource for you and your family to have an opportunity to hear stories and truth from the Bible and sing along to some songs that praise God.
We are now hosting in-person services, so we would love to invite you to join us on Sunday morning. For service times and locations, please have your parents visit our website or follow us on Instagram.
We may be here on YouTube, but believe it or not, we are real people and we're available to be seen and talked to. So we want to hear from you if you have questions, concerns, or if you need prayer. Just please reach out to us by clicking on the links in the description of this video.
So now let's dive into this week's video.
We love you!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, It's time to hear a story full of wonder. There's so much fun we'll have learning together. So let's go down to the clubhouse with Ollie and his friends. Let's go down to the clubhouse where wonder never ends at the Wonder Clubhouse. Meet with you at the Wonder Clubhouse. Meet with you.
Oh, hey friends, it's me, Super Poppy. Check out my new cape. When I'm Super Kid, I can do amazing things. Like, I went to my aunt's house last week, and she lives a whole 3 hours away. That's super far. My aunt was making dinner for the whole family. But while she was cooking, I heard someone who needed help. It was my little cousin. So I put on my super cape and dashed to the scene. First, I sing him a song to make him happy. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. After that, I played a really cool game with him. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Oh, and I could tell he was getting a little sleepy, so I gave him his favorite passy. Here you go. And before my aunt was finished making dinner, my cousin was fast asleep.
Hoo, hoo.
It's Ollie.
Hello, Poppy. Hoo, hoo. Took a long trip, did you?
Hey, Ollie. My aunt lives so far away, but I got to help my baby cousin. It was so fun.
I'm glad you could go there. Hoo, you can be super anywhere. It's true. Listen to this story. Just follow me through. Hoo, hoo.
Follow me through, follow me through. Ollie's got a Bible story for me and you.
Okay, sit. Beg. Dance. Good job, Stormy Jane. You can take a break and go get yourself a treat. Oh, hi, friends. I'm Carrie the dog walker. It's nice to see you. I was just finishing up a little doggy training session with my best dog, Stormy Jane. She's learning to do so many big things. In fact, there's a great story in the Bible about someone who did a really big thing. His name was David, and he was a shepherd who took care of his father's sheep. Here they come. David watched over them day and night. He made sure they had green grass to eat and clean water to drink. And he watched over them and kept them safe. But one day, while the sheep were asleep, a big lion came near them. Stormy Jane, are you pretending to be a lion? You're always trying to get in the story, but this one's not for you. Silly dog. No, the big animal that came near the sheep was a real lion. Can you pretend to be a lion and roar with me? On the count of 3, let's hear your roar. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Roar! Oh, wow, great job. Well, the lion snuck up to the sheep and took one away in his mouth. David stood up. He knew he needed to rescue the sheep, but that was a big job. He was far away in a really big field, all alone. But David knew he wasn't really alone. God was with him and made him to do big things. And that gave David the courage to save the sheep. God helped David be strong and brave. David ran to the lion and saved the sheep. Yay, David! The Bible teaches us that we can be strong and courageous because God is with us. God was with David, and God made David to do big things like save the sheep. God is with us, and He made us to do big things too. He is with us at the park, on the playground, at night when we go to sleep. No matter where we are, we can remember that God is with us and made us to do big things. Oh, hey there, Ollie. Ollie, tell me, who made you to do big things?
God made me to do big things. Yes, it's true. Now let's hear it from you. Tell me, who made you to do big things?
God made me to do big things. That's the truth, friends. You better believe it. See you next time. Bye.
So there's your story, and it's all true. God was with David in the field, and He is with us everywhere we go too.
Thanks, Ollie.
Goodbye to you. Hoo, hoo.
Wow, God was with David and helped him do big things even out in the field. And God could help me to do things anywhere too. I think I got this story. Did you get it? If you did, say got it. Get it?
Got it!
Good. I'm so glad God was with me at my aunt's house far away so I could help my baby cousin. Whatever the day brings, God made us to do big things. See you later, super friends. Here I go.
Caring, super sharing, always loving and forgiving. Yeah, 'cause putting others first is always better. I'll be a super duper kid forever and ever and ever. Oh, I wanna be a super duper kid. Super, super, share and forgive. Oh, I wanna be a super duper kid and show them who God is. I'll be a super kid. Hey. Be a super kid.
Hey everybody, I'm Graham, candy connoisseur, and I'm here to talk about individuality. Individuality is discovering who you are meant to be so that you can make a difference. Every single one of us is an individual. We were all made by God in our own unique ways. When you look at yourself in a mirror, you can see all the work that went into making every little detail. I see you! And it's not just what you look like that makes you an individual. Your whole personality sets you apart from everyone else in the world. You should really look at yourself sometime. Really look at yourself inside and out. Like when I look at myself, I think I'm pretty cool. Like a big bowl of ice cream. And there are things about myself that I like. I love that I'm good at problem solving. I have this ability to understand when something is wrong and immediately think of ideas to fix it. Oh, and I like that I'm funny. Like, have you ever heard of this one? Knock, knock. Oh, right. I need someone in the room for that joke. Anyways, the punchline is, I didn't know you could yodel. Oh, I think I'm funny. Actually, now that I'm really looking, I'm thinking there are some things that I don't like about myself. Like, sometimes I procrastinate. That means when there's something that needs to be done by a certain time, sometimes I wait till the last possible minute to get it done. Oh, and sometimes I have a bad temper. When someone disagrees with me about certain things, I can get really angry really fast. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I can be really selfish. There. A little cool, a little gross, and a lot messy. That's how I can see myself sometimes. Maybe you see yourself that way. Well, after today's story, you might discover that there's a whole new way to see yourself. Yeah, right. Like I'm really gonna eat that. See? I'm funny.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 9 through 13.
Everyone in the shore town of Capernaum knew who Matthew was.
You may also call me Levi.
But few people actually liked him.
Well, that's rude.
Truth is, Matthew had put himself in an awkward situation. He was Jewish, like his relatives and friends, but he chose to work for the hated Roman government.
Just trying to make a living.
Matthew was a tax collector for the Romans, and tax collectors were known to lie about the amount of money people owed.
5 gold pieces.
But it was only 3 last year.
5, and not a shekel less.
After collecting money, the tax collectors would keep the extra for themselves. Many of them grew rich by robbing the poorest people in their towns. In fact, tax collectors and sinners were considered to be the same thing.
Hey, I work hard.
But no matter how hard Matthew tried to polish his own image, deep down, he knew how others saw him. He heard their whispers as he crossed to the other side of the street to pass his booth.
I do not know how that man sleeps at night.
He's the worst, doing the Romans' dirty work.
But one day, the crowds of Capernaum were full of different news.
Did you hear about Jesus of Nazareth?
The rabbi?
He's not only a teacher. This morning, he made a lame man walk.
That's just talk.
My son was there. He saw it with his own eyes.
The whole city was ablaze with the story, and even Matthew, who was tucked away in his tax collector's booth, was fascinated.
Maybe the man just had a limp or something?
Oh no, this Jesus has real power. He cares about people.
Well, maybe. Anyhow, you owe 3 gold pieces.
3? How are we supposed to eat for the rest of the season?
Take it up with the governor. I'm just doing my job.
I bet Jesus would have something to say to you.
Next.
Within a short time, the market became even more crowded.
Jesus! Jesus is coming this way!
From his booth, Matthew craned to see. Though he was curious, deep down, he had to admit that no rabbi would have kind words for him.
I'm a fool. Even my own people hate me.
Suddenly, the crowds parted. Just down the street, Matthew could see a tall man with a rugged face and piercing eyes. A group of common fishermen followed at his heels.
It's Jesus.
Matthew watched, waiting for the rabbi to pass him by. Instead, Jesus stopped right in front of Matthew's booth.
Rabbi?
Jesus looked directly at Matthew, reading every single thought in his heart.
Nice day? Not too hot. Not too cold.
Jesus kept his gaze fixed directly on Matthew's face.
Come, follow me.
Shocked, Matthew looked around. The crowd has fallen away.
Who? Me?
Jesus nodded. Matthew gaped. He had no doubt in his mind that Jesus knew every single thing about him, even everything he'd done wrong. But still, Jesus wanted Matthew to join him.
Oh, well, yes.
Matthew found himself leaping up from his seat and rushing out of his booth to join Jesus on the street.
It's, nearly dinner time. Would you like to eat at my house?
To Matthew's amazement, Jesus and his followers turned their steps towards Matthew's home. Quickly, Matthew sent out word to everyone he knew.
Come to my house for dinner.
Matthew, who had expected to eat alone, found himself hosting the most famous rabbi in town for dinner, along with a ragtag group of fishermen, tax collectors, and other outcasts.
Jesus doesn't care what I've done. He thinks I can be better, that I'm worthy to follow him.
But while Matthew rejoiced to discover his brand new identity, the city's religious leaders were horrified by what Jesus had done. They sidled up to Jesus' disciples.
Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?
You know, that's a great question.
Jesus overheard the religious leaders and answered the question himself.
Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I have come to get sinners to follow me.
Preposterous.
From then on, Matthew followed Jesus everywhere. With his own eyes, he had seen more of the things that Jesus had done than nearly anyone else. Near the end of his life, he wrote down all the stories he had witnessed and gathered so that others too could know Jesus.
Before he was one of Jesus' disciples, Matthew was a tax collector. Tax collectors were kind of known for cheating people out of their money. Other people would have called Matthew a sinner, and it would have been true. Matthew, like everyone else in the world, sinned, which means he did things that God wouldn't want him to do. I wonder if Matthew saw himself this way. A little gross, a little messy. He might have felt ashamed, even worthless. But then something happened. He met Jesus. Jesus chose Matthew to follow him, even though Matthew sometimes did things he shouldn't, even though he was a sinner. Jesus wants you to follow him too. He wants you to know him and trust him. And it doesn't matter what you've done or how you see yourself. When Jesus died on the cross, he took the punishment for your sins. You are forgiven, and he loves you just as you are, mess and all. It's almost like when Jesus looks at you, he sees through the mess. He sees past your mistakes. He sees the individual you that God created. When you believe in and follow Jesus, it can help you see yourself through his eyes. And it's so much better that way. The one thing to remember today is this. Knowing Jesus changes how you see yourself. I definitely like myself a lot better without mayonnaise. Blech. I'll see you next time.